Hello, welcome to Bravo Team's Meet the Cast. In this mini-series, we dive deep into the most elite Special Operations Unit and into the personal and professional lives of these elite warriors. Today, we will be covering Petty Officer Carlos Carrera. Carlos was born on September 18th, 2002. Carlos stands at 5'7". His first appearance ever was in the episode Bravo Team, Carlos being Seuss and in denial. Carlos Carrera is alive and doing well. Carlos grew up playing soccer and American football and enjoyed skateboarding and didn't have a desire to go to college. He was lost for a while and wanted to go to the Army and become a Ranger, but then was challenged to become a SEAL. Carlos thought he had what it took to complete the hardest military training in the world, so he enlisted in the Navy and went to BUD/S and graduated. Carlos served in SEAL Team 3 alongside with JC and Claudio. Carlos is one of the only members back in Team 3 that is still alive. Carlos was eventually recommended by his old team leader to join JC and Claudio to go to Green Team. Carlos graduated from Green Team along with JC and Gabe and Claudio and other candidates. Bravo Team nearly lost all their operators in a helo crash, and those that survived the crash were all forced to medically retire except for Adam because he wasn't present in that op. Carlos, Claudio, and JC were forced to all join Bravo due to the unfortunate circumstances and because of their experience together. Bravo had to draft an additional operator, which was up to JC to do, but Carlos recommended drafting Gabe. Carlos is a petty officer first class. ISO 1 Carrera is a hard-charging, knuckle-dragging, door-kicking pipe hitter. He is a seasoned operator who loves the life of a warfighter. Independent and resistant to society's norms, he is a bit of a wild card. Carlos has a personality very much like JC and Cameron. He is outspoken and isn't afraid to share what's on his mind. Petty Officer First Class Carrera is a recipient of a Bronze Star with 2 Gold Award stars and V device, a National Defense Service Medal with 1 Bronze Service Star, a Verdansk Campaign Medal with 1 Silver and 2 Bronze Service Stars, a Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, a Navy Expert Rifle Marksmanship Medal, a Special Warfare Insignia, and a Navy Presidential Unit Citation with 1 Bronze Service Star. There is also additional information we feel are worth noting. Carlos has multiple tattoos. He has his full right arm covered in ink and a wolf tattoo on his pectoral. Also has a tattoo covering his right knuckles. Carlos is the only member of Bravo that has been shot, stabbed, and blown up. Carlos got fragged and had Gabe remove the shrapnel from his back. Carlos Carrera and Gabe are confirmed to go back and forth as lead snipers back in seasons 1, 3 before he left. Carlos went on family leave back in season 3 and wasn't present when Gabe died. Carlos returned to the team and hurt his knee during a training exercise and was out for a while. Once he recovered, he told the team that he wants to go be a BUD/S instructor for some time and might not come back to operate, and also told the team he was having a kid soon, so he wanted to take a step back from operating. JC told him to take the time he needs, and when he's ready, he can return to Bravo. Later on in the episode, Bravo Team. Payback's a bitch. Carlos called JC out of the blue, telling him he's been working in a task force all this time, and the whole story about him being a BUD/S instructor and having a kid was just a cover story. Carlos was tracking down a man named Zahir. He was a general or Urkistan. Carlos and his task force were ambushed by Zahir's men when they were about to neutralize Zahir. Crawford, who was an army ranger who turned sides, gave away their position and plans to Zahir. This resulted in a brutal gunfight in the city, resulting in Zahir fleeing, and Crawford fled, and Carlos was the only one who came out without dying and without an injury. He requested Bravo Team to take care of the assignment on tracking down Zahir and neutralizing him. The op was off the books, so the team would have to be on their own. Carlos didn't trust working on this operation with anyone except JC's team. That's when Carlos and Bravo reunite for the Omega operation. Eventually, Carlos himself kills Zahir with his bare hands and shoots him and frags him afterwards. Carlos was relieved Zahir was finally in the wind. However, when Carlos returned to Bravo for good, he realized the team was not the same team he left, not even at the slightest. Carlos went from being the 3IC and even 2IC if Claudio was out to being Bravo, 5. Brian, who was the newest on the team at the time, is now the team's 3IC. Carlos also never met Full Metal or Brian until the Omega op. Team went through many changes and Carlos is seen to be upset. Carlos is also upset when JC gives Christian a free pass when he joins the team. Typically, the team does some hazing and a vetting process with new guys, but JC seems to be very soft with Chris, and this sets Carlos off. He felt that Chris didn't even deserve it when he seemed like he didn't even want to be with the team in the first place, and he just wanted to be a lone wolf. In the episode Bravo Team, Chaos in the Calm, Carlos goes off on the whole team and disrespects JC in front of the whole team, proceeding to call JC soft for giving Chris a free pass, and even says that JC doesn't give a rat's ass about Bravo. The guys talk it over and put it behind them by the end of the episode. Carlos then decides that he is done with operating. Going after Zahir was supposed to be Carlos' last op, but he stayed with the team to make sure Christian would be able to replace him well enough. Carlos has decided to go to Green Team as an instructor to train the SEALs that want to get a spot on DevGru. Carlos is planning to retire once he makes his 20, but he wants to make sure he gets there. Carlos loved being a SEAL and loved Bravo Team, but he felt his time as an operator was up. That is everything we have on Petty Officer Carrera. Make sure you like this video and share with any Bravo Team fans. We'll see you on the next episode with Bravo Team. And like Master Chief Zarate always says, remember, we're never out of the fight.